We visited our customer and noticed a number of mistakes their contractor made when installing the roll-up sides. So in today's video, there's two parts. The first part, we're diagnosing the problems that contractor made with the roll-up sides, and the second part is us fixing those mistakes. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video because we actually found a number of mistakes we didn't initially notice, and we'll show you how to fix those too. Let's get into the video.
The first thing I noticed here, and you can see this pretty easily, when you come out, you can see the snap clamps. What that means is probably the roll bar was placed on the baseboard, and then on the baseboard itself, the clamps were put on. You know, it will technically function, it will roll up and down. However, that means hardly any of the excess plastic was brought into the roll bar. So it's not hidden. So now it's kind of capturing water in the down position. So that's the first thing we need to do. We're gonna undo these anti-billow rope so we can roll this off, put the snap clamps off of the structure a bit more so more of the excess plastic can be rolled up into the roll bar. So that's one of the things we're gonna do. The other thing I noticed, none of these snap clamps have panhead screws put through them. So after the snap clamps are installed, it's ideal to put one panhead screw through the snap clamp, over the plastic, through the plastic, and into the roll bar. That's in place, and it reduces the chance that over time these snap clamps will lose some of their tension. So we want to prevent that with the panhead, so we're going to do that as well. Another thing we noticed, let's go down here actually. So this is screwed in. Okay, that might be fine. It might be fine forever. Maybe nothing will ever happen. However, this is supposed to have a bolt, and it's supposed to have a lock nut on the inside. And the reason that's important is if there's crazy winds, you don't want to have this pull off the structure. So a screw is more likely to strip out in a horrible windstorm. A bolt with a lock nut on it is not. So what we don't want to have happen is we don't want to have this anti-billow fail, because if we do, then in a windstorm and in a wind event, the roll bar could actually pull away from the structure, clang around, maybe even do some crazy flying up in the air, which is dangerous if you're around it, but also it could damage your top cover, which is more costly to replace. The same thing that's going on down here, even though it's less of an issue because they're made to fit in channel, they're also only screwed in at the top. Ideally, those should have bolts and lock nuts holding them in place. Again, they're made to fit in the shape of this double channel. So it's not a huge deal because they're made for that with tension. However, we're gonna try and make it a little more strong. So bolts, lock nuts. One more thing that I noticed that was an issue, let's come to the end here. This structure has automated rollers. These will go up and down. There's concrete around each of these ground post anchors. They needed it to meet wind and snow loads. So there's concrete here, but because there's concrete here for the engineering process, this couldn't be pounded into the earth. This guide pipe was hitting concrete. So in a way to get the project done, the contractor probably cut this, attached it at the top, and had it dangled. It's not in a position that's ideal for this to roll up and down. We're going to undo this. There's excess at the end of this. There's a foot of excess on the roll up at the end. We're gonna pull this a little bit further this way so we can drive this into the earth. That will give the automated roller and its guide wheels more to bite onto for this guide pipe, because right now the bottommost guide wheels aren't really biting onto this guide pipe very well, and two, it will help us avoid the concrete. So we're going to try to do this now. The winds are about 20 miles an hour. Let's see how it goes.
The first thing we have to do in order to fix this roll-up side is free the roll-up side. So we're going to undo the anti-billow rope. That's what you see me doing here. I'm undoing the anti-billow rope so that the roll bar can move freely and we can access it and make adjustments. I also have to take out this guide pipe. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm removing it from the auto roller motor, and now the roll bar can move and roll around freely. Next, we need to remove all of the snap clamps currently holding the plastic to the roll bar. This is because we need to move the roll bar in a couple directions, and we want to readjust where these snap clamps are going to be attached to the plastic. So that's what we're doing here. We're removing all of the snap clamps. As mentioned, there's concrete in the earth holding this corner ground post in place. For that reason, we need to pull the automated roller motor and the entire roll bar an additional 6 to 8 inches away from the end of the structure. This will allow the automated roller motor to clear that concrete that's in the earth, which will then allow the guide pipe to be installed firmly while clearing all of the concrete. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm moving the automated roller and thus the entire roll bar a little bit further from the end of the structure. We're now ready to reattach the snap clamps. But before we do, another mistake I noticed is that the contractor used hex head drive tech screws to connect the roll bars down the full length of of the structure. These have a high profile compared to panhead screws and can also cause more abrasion on the roll-up side plastic, so I decided to swap these out while we were in the process. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm swapping out the contractor installed hex head tech screws for lower profile panhead tech screws. Now that we moved the roll bar and the auto roller motor a little bit away from the end of our structure, the roll bar is sitting where we want it, and we're going to reattach the snap clamps to hold the plastic to the roll bar. As you can see here, I'm using the excess plastic that's already on this roll and a pair of pliers as a spacer jig to make sure all the snap clamps are spaced the same amount from the side of the structure. Now that all the snap clamps are in place, we're going to test how this rolls. So team member Ryan is going to manually rotate the auto roller motor toward the structure so that the side will start rolling up, so we can test how even the roll bar looks through the full length of the structure. And there's about an inch or two of a gap. That's all we really need. We're just trying to see if the roll bar is parallel to the baseboard. As you can see, I'm down a little further trying to get a good eye on the full length of the structure. I notice a couple snap clamps that need adjusting, and I can pinpoint which of those need adjusting because the roll bar just doesn't look parallel to the baseboard in that location. So I need to adjust where these snap clamps are. So in order to do that, Ryan's gonna back off the auto roller once again, unrolling it and exposing the snap clamps. Here I am adjusting the snap clamps, changing the amount of excess plastic wrapped around the roll bar. Then I reapply the snap clamp in its new position before we test again. So now we're gonna test again. We have to test one more time because the next step is gonna be driving a panhead screw through that snap clamp. So here Ryan is rolling it back up. I'm gonna take a glance. It looks much more parallel. We're good with this. So now we're ready to drive one panhead tech screw through each snap clamp over top of the plastic and into the roll bar. In order to do that, we're gonna unroll this roll bar one more time to expose the snap clamps, and we're going to drive one panhead screw through the snap clamps, through the plastic, and into the roll bar. This will keep those snap clamps from losing some of their tensile strength, which should ensure that these roll-up sides operate smoothly for the life of the plastic. Now that we've done that, we're going to manually roll the operator toward the structure in order to get it into a location where we can reline up the guide pipe and pound it into the earth. Remember, the reason we moved the entire roll-up side and the operator an additional 6 to 8 inches away from the front of the structure was so that we could pound the guide pipe into the ground and clear the concrete that's been poured there on that corner post. So that's what we're doing now. As you can see, I'm pounding in the guide pipe that belongs here. Now these guide pipes were provided at 131 inches of length, so more than 10 feet long, but for some reason the contractor cut them in order to install them. So we will have to come back out here and put larger guide pipes in. There are other ways to install guide pipes, different ways you can attach them to the structure. We have videos showing how to use an extender pipe, for example. But right now for this project, this is how we're doing it. We're going straight into the earth, and we will come back out here with a larger guide pipe so we can roll the full 8 feet of the sidewalls up and down. But for now, getting these in place allows the customer to at least ventilate a bit with the guide pipe they have. The next thing we need to fix is swapping out the screws that are holding in the easy snap hooks on the baseboard with bolts and lock nuts. Screws are more likely to fail over the life of a structure. Bolts and lock nuts are not. So let's go swap those out now. First, we're going to remove the screws that are holding the easy snap hooks at each location, and that'll leave us with holes like you see here. Then we're going to push a hex head bolt through the easy snap hook, put the easy snap hook and bolt through your baseboard, thumb tighten a lock nut on the bolt threads, grab the lock nut with a crescent wrench, tighten bolt head with a 7/16 inch deep well socket, tap the easy snap hook if required so it's pointing straight up. And we're going to repeat this at every easy snap hook along this side, which is what you see us doing here. It's a lot easier if you have two people, so Ryan's on the inside with the crescent wrench, I'm on the outside with the impact driver. Once the easy snap hooks have had their screws replaced with bolts and lock nuts, we're ready to do the anti-billow roping, which is what you see me doing here. And I'm going to do this all the way to the end of the structure, and that'll pretty much wrap up this side. Here's a real quick before and after of when we came out here. So this is what it looked like when we got out here. You can see there's a lot more sagging in the roll-up plastic, a lot more water collection, and here's the after. A nice straight line on our roll-ups, and that loose excess plastic has now been rolled up into the roll bar. So it's going to be nice and taut and not collect water like this was in the past. We do have to come back here, and I'll show you why. Something I didn't catch, but the contractor missed. When we got up here to change these are 8 feet off the ground, we noticed we could drill a hole and put in a bolt and a lock nut. However, there's no wire that was put in down on this bottom run. So before we want to go ahead and drill a hole, a slightly larger hole that we can put a bolt and a lock nut on, we want to make sure that there is going to be wire here first to keep that hole from expanding over time. So we decided to batten this down because it was 20-mile-per-hour winds. Not now, obviously, but it was. These are shaped in a way where they won't pop out easily, so they're fine.
for now, but we just want to take the extra step of securement and eventually come back out here and put a bolt and a lock nut. But when we do that, we're coming out with wire. We're going to put a layer of wire, you know, a run of wire first, and then we're going to go over and put on the bolt and the lock nut. Okay. Thanks for watching.